Is Eastern State Penitentiary haunted? I just heard a cough. Hello? I just heard somebody walking. Not sure if I'm supposed to go up these stairs. Nowhere to go. What the hell is that? What is up, fam? Welcome to another adventure. My name is Omar. Today I have something very special for you. A lot of you have been begging us to come to the Eastern State Penitentiary. We were given special access. We were invited here. We have the whole place to ourselves. This place is great. It happens to be one of the very first prisons ever made. I'm going to explain a little bit more on that story. Hope you're ready for this adventure. Make sure to leave a like if you haven't already. Let's do this. Pretty sure these were like the exercise areas, and each of the prison inmates were given an hour to exercise every day. Maybe not though. Maybe this one's like a actual cell. Oh, here's another barber chair. This is cell block 11. Happens to be where Sidney Ware was housed. Now, in the Eastern State, I just heard a cough. Was that you, Sidney? I was just talking about Sidney Ware. Hello? I know I'm not tripping. I'm gonna have to go back and review that footage. I could have swore I heard somebody coughing. Now, there are employees here. I mean, I've seen some like scraping like snow off the ground, but they're not in here. And I just split up with Mo and CJ. There's 11 acres of jail in here beyond the walls. So this place is massive. It's easy to get lost in here. Please let me know if you see or hear anything in this video. Could have sworn I heard a cough. Oh, okay, I think that's an employee over there. They're just like salting the ground so people don't get hurt later. This is like right in the middle of Philadelphia, like real close to downtown, by the way, but anybody could come visit here. Sounds like a fire truck or an old fire engine. But anyways, Sidney Ware, back on Sidney Ware, he was a murderer and he served about 20 years or so before being let free. So he didn't even serve a life sentence. I heard he was later convicted of killing someone else and he had to serve another 20 years, but then they let him go after that. What makes Eastern State Penitentiary so unique is the fact that they created it based on see, back in the day, prisons were mainly used to hold people before being like hung or being whipped in public. You know, that was how they used to deal with criminals back in the day. Public humiliation. It was really never prison. Prison was kind of like just one big dungeon where they threw everybody, a mixture of everybody in there, and a lot of bad things would happen in there. Some people that were convicted for minor things would end up getting beat by other prisoners that were kind of crazy. They would introduce some of those people to drugs. Some of them would get raped. Yeah, bad situation. So what happened is William Penn, the founder of Pennsylvania, very religious guy. William Penn actually served time for religious persecution. Yeah, he was persecuted because of his beliefs in England, and he was in a prison, and that prison inspired him to build this one because the situation was so bad. So they figured, okay, I'm going to create a prison, and Benjamin Franklin had something to do with this too. And they said, hey, we're going to create a prison where everybody has their own private space. And they get to sit in here and just think about the bad things they did in quiet isolation. So they were completely isolated from other prisoners. They didn't get to talk to other prisoners. So in other words, that good that they thought they were doing actually led to a couple people being insane. I mean, I know that I would be insane just being in here like for 20 years. I mean, you're not going out at all. Usually they would have these rooms close by and they would get an hour of exercise in those rooms, and there was a little bit of daylight right there. I'm not finding the little hole. There's usually like a little hole where they would pass the food through, but yeah, they spent their entire time in there. And these prison walls were so quiet, they would even make the guards wear socks over their shoes so you couldn't hear them walking through the hallways. I mean, just you could hear a pin drop in this prison. Pretty creepy. I could actually go in here. Cool. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention too. They used to have women and men in here together. It was co-ed, but then later on, they kept it just men. A couple of the people, these were people that were murdered by some of the inmates that served time here at the Eastern State Penitentiary. This guy was a policeman right there. Oh, 60-year-old, poor guy. It was during a robbery. This is a little bit bigger of a cell. I'm thinking they probably opened this up, or maybe this was a guard station. Not sure, but yeah. They would have their own toilets here. They had independent heat, which was really nice. Not much ventilation in here too, so it would probably be really, really hot in the summertime. I mean, there was no air conditioning. At least I don't think there was. I'm pretty sure there wasn't. I mean, all I see is something for heat there, which is very generous, actually, considering the jail that I've seen in St. Augustine. Pretty bad. It's called the old jail. They had like a bucket, and that's what they used to have to use the bathroom in. It was a bucket, and sometimes they would have to like throw the waste out the window, if there was a window. And they didn't have very comfortable beds at all. The women did though. They had like hay inside of the mattresses, but the men, they had to sleep like on wood or metal. It was just, yeah, it's really bad. Imagine the bed sores. Let's get out of cell block 11. Now, Al Capone did some time here too. I'm not sure exactly where. I think it's there in the very beginning. So we have 11 acres behind these walls. I mean, you could see those walls. They're massive. If I had to guess, that's about, I don't know, maybe 30 feet high. Oh, these were additions. I remember hearing about this. These were added in the 1920s. The original part of the prison was from the 1800s. So, oh, wow, this looks so creepy in here. Oh, I got a really eerie feeling. Oh my gosh, take a look at this. Oh, it even says here, is Eastern State Penitentiary haunted? Oh, I don't know. I think they exist everywhere around here. Now, when they built these, there was a little bit of ridicule. There was some arguments about, you know, not being able to have, I think it was on the second and third floors because it's a little bit bigger. They didn't have areas to exercise outside. So like the adjoining cell blocks would be where they would have their exercise time. So the people that were serving sentences up there, they didn't really get to see daylight much. These people did. And here, I still set up kind of like the 1800s. Been spending a little bit of time in here because they say this is like the most haunted, but I don't know, it's didn't really. Hello? I just heard a hey. I know you heard that too. I hope I got that on camera. Hope I'm not hearing things. Wow, that freaked me out. My heart is racing right now. Hello? I'm not sure what's out here, but let me know if you see anybody. Anybody out there? I'm really glad that no one's here today because it kind of gives you the feeling of what it was like here. It was dead silent all the time. And I almost feel like whatever called me into this cell wanted me to feel that. And I just felt that. Like, I've been in here for a few minutes already, and I mean, this is not a very big room. I mean, I want to say it's like, I just heard somebody walking. Oh yeah, this room is, I want to say 11 feet by 7 feet. It's very small. And you gotta think there was probably a bed in here too, taking up a lot of space. You had a toilet, and who knows when they got to shower. I mean, it was probably once a week, if that. And anytime they would take them out of these cells, they were always hooded. Like, they did not want the inmates to know the layout of the prison, and that's the reason why they would always have their faces covered. And that was to help the prison from having a breakout. I think there was some escapes though. I know there was a ton of riots. From what I heard, when they would have prison riots here, they would purposely leave blood on the walls for a long period of time just to kind of remind people that, you know, you're gonna get hurt. I'm not sure if that was the person that was walking, but that's one of the workers. Wow, what a name. Brian James Spies. So he spent time in solitary confinement. That cell that I heard that sound in was right here. And I was wondering, like, hey, maybe somebody was back here making that noise through that window. And you could see this is all locked up. So this is probably what you saw when I took my camera out of the window. It's like a little small alleyway. Yes, there is snow on the ground too. I hope I don't get this on camera, like me busting my butt walking, because it is icy. Thought it was bird poop for a second. Hey, check that. That's locked up. They have certain areas locked up, you know, just for safety. Supposed to be catching a flight home in a little bit. Definitely wanted to come to the Eastern State Penitentiary, make a video. You know what? I have not run into Mo or CJ one time. This place is massive. It's so icy. I hope it's not slippery. So far we've been good. I just came across something really cool. What we're looking at right here is the morgue. Now it's in really bad shape right now. Now they say that most of the deaths where they kept corpses here were from tuberculosis, which is crazy. 1,400 people were in this morgue, or 1,400 people died at this prison, so they say. I mean, they probably did. Wow, you can still see garments in there. Oh, that's creepy. I wonder if that's from the prisoners. Okay, what we're gonna go into right now is the hospital of the penitentiary, Eastern State Penitentiary. Here you go here. It's cool that they have these, you know, things here. Prison hospitals today. They're probably like most hospitals. They have a lot of this blocked off here, but this was the hospital room. It doesn't look like a hospital. This looks like a bathroom or a shower. Maybe it was a shower. Could be wrong. Just wanted to show you a little layout of the original design of this prison. You can see it right there. Now, it's really funny how this was architected, if that's even a word, idea-wise. Now, the original creators, and this all started out in Ben Franklin's living room when they were kind of discussing the ideas for this prison. And it did take some time to build. I want to say, I can't remember offhand, I think it's 13 years that it took to build this prison. But anyways, they did like a competition with architects with the grand prize of $100 US to whoever can architect this prison. Not architect, but draw up some plans for a really cool prison, if you will. Now, the prison, it doesn't look like something that was built in the 1800s. It actually looks like something that was built more in the 1600s in like Scotland or, yeah, somewhere in Europe, you know. Has a European flavor to it. Almost looks like a dungeon or castle. And it was kind of uniquely made to strike fear into people's hearts. So then when they see it, they're like, hey, I do not want to go there and serve a sentence. They got this really nice heater here for me to warm up. I've seen a couple employees come in and out of here just to get warm for a second. It doesn't look like anybody's here though. I mean, it's literally like we're just here alone. There's only a couple employees floating around just to make sure the place is clean, cleaning up snow. I know that they're getting ready to do a tour here in a little bit, but this is the midway point to all the different wings. And I want to say the original design was like 250 cells or so. Yeah, we're right here, right there. And all these branch into the different blocks, cell blocks. So I wanted to show you this one, man. This looks so creepy. I want to say this is the one that was built in the 1920s. And what's crazy, it's in like the worst condition. Oh, what's over here? Oh, this looks like one of those alleyways. Look, it's all blocked off. Yeah, I'm not sure if I mentioned it, but the architect that won that $100, his name was John Haviland. Think of all the work it took to think of the design, the layout. I mean, I don't know. If you're an architect out there, a lot of you guys don't get enough credit, especially for massive buildings like this, because a lot of work. I mean, the function, there's a lot of work that goes into that part of engineering a place like this. Looks like they started letting these guys out. Here's a picture. It's a calisthenic class. Well, those designs I showed you were the original design. They kept adding on to this. But yeah, it took a long time to build this place. It took about, during that time, I think it was $700,000 it took to build this. And in today's money, I don't know. You do the math. What would that be in today's money? I mean, $700,000 might sound like a lot of money to you, but I mean, this place is massive. It's huge. It's 11 acres of building. Don't quote me on that. I read that somewhere. It's still massive. I mean, I'm still trying to find Mo and CJ. Oh, man. Oh, we could actually go up here? Not sure if I'm supposed to go up these stairs. But we're gonna go. Wow, it's so creepy in here. Oh, Charles Dickens. I've read up on this story. He was the one that had a lot to do with this prison too, because, you know, he's seen how prisoners were being treated in other places. And, you know, we're not talking about just murderers and things like that. We're talking about people that would maybe do petty theft. Maybe they stole the watch or something at a grocery store, and they were treated pretty bad in certain prisons. You're like a prison guard. Well, that was weird. Sounded like a prison guard or something. Ooh, I got a nice cold breeze coming from here. Now this is locked up, but I'm gonna show you what's in there. Pretty sure this is lead-based paint. Psych. Wow, it feels so small right now. It's like massive in here. Still trying to find Mo. CJ. Oh, these are like really little doors. How the heck did they get inmates in here? Yeah, this is still that really small room. That's all the daylight they would get. Well, they got lights in here. I'm wondering if, I'm pretty sure they didn't have lights in the 1800s. I mean, maybe candle lights or something. But this guy right here, Willie Sutton, guy was a bank robber, and he actually made like a whole tunnel system to try to escape from here. There's like a little documentary going on here. Let's go have a peek. He tried to escape like several times too, and on the last time he joined like 11 people from what I was reading, and he got caught like right after. So yeah, I don't think there was any successful escapes from this prison, but this one was the closest one.
Once we move that, we're now going down by hand, first with a shovel and then with an auger, to see if we can get down into the tunnel. We want to be able to determine its exact depth beneath the surface and whether or not it's still open or it's collapsed.
Also, they're gonna see if the tunnel is open.
The second day we worked with
Oh, there it is right there.
we actually hit a void, which meant that
Dang, they made that. Could you imagine trying to escape? I mean, they wanted to get out of here.
electric eel. And we
I don't know about you, I get extremely claustrophobic. I couldn't do that, right? No. Just a little bit ago, I heard another, like, it was like, and there was nobody back there. It is so cold. Okay, a couple more things to see. Al Capone's cell and synagogue and exhibit. Oh, cool, they had a synagogue here? Synagogue is kind of like a church, you know, for Jews. Yeah, you could see it. It looks like a castle. I love the way they constructed this. It's so castle looking. Something you would see like in Europe. Oh, the chaplain's office. One thing I forgot to mention too is that they were not allowed visitors here unless they were religious visitors, you know, like a church pastor or some kind of medical attention. So yeah, you weren't able to visit inmates here, and it didn't matter like what race, religion, age, gender. Like, they threw everybody in here. They threw kids in here. This was a kids jail too. I didn't really see much of, you know, kids like in pictures and stuff here. So here is the, we're gonna go in the synagogue. I've never been in a synagogue. Yeah, synagogue is like a Jewish temple. You could see the Star of David right there. Now they did slightly restore this, but I'm pretty sure that there's still a lot of original stuff here. This is probably original woodwork. It says, please do not touch. We'd like to see what's in there. But hey, I'm gonna respect this place, okay? Have a lot of respect for history. When it says do not touch, do not touch, do not touch. Oh gosh, it started moving on its own. What the hell? I didn't even lean up against that. Okay, wow. That was really freaky. It was like it wanted me to go in here. Wow, that was really strange. I was just slightly leaning and this just started moving like. Okay, so here's what it looked like. It seems like this prison was abandoned for many years, and they had to come in here and do some cleanup. But you can see a lot of that woodwork is kind of original. But this is exactly what it would have looked like during its day. You come in here to say prayers and stuff. Oh, me. Yeah, synagogues in a prison is very different. Yeah, it says it was the first ever synagogue in a prison. Alright, they got these like little documentaries. If you hear people talking in the background, more than likely it's like a little documentary playing.
Forget the other two. But these three.
Hey, look, this is an actual prison door. Yeah, they were made out of solid wood.
Sit down.
Oak. I think it's oak.
Jewish people.
More than likely, that's one of those TVs playing. At least I hope it is. Hope there's no more coughing. So we're in cell block 8, and this is where Al Capone spent some time. All right, that's what we were hearing right now.
And you get a lot of suicides.
A lot of suicides. I'm not sure where his cell was, but man, I have to say, it is colder in here by, I don't know, maybe 15 or 20 degrees than it is outside. And I just showed you, like, it's snowing out there. It's really cold. Like, my hands are freezing. I know I've done this before, but I want you to feel my hand. Like, just reach out. Actually, I'm gonna put my hand on your ear, okay? That's cold, right? I mean, like, my ear feels like I could just break it off, like in an ice chunk. Earmuffs would come in handy right about now. I wouldn't even care how I look. Hearing like some construction. What the heck? Why is there like 100 different songs playing in here? I mean, there are little speakers up there. Alright, that's creepy. That singing back there is still kind of freaking me out. There's no sign or anything like in front of Al Capone's cell. Unless it's this one. Nope. Yo, why is there a freaking car in there? Oh, I guess to give you an idea of how big these cells are. How the heck did they get a car? Oh, they must have broke off the back end and sealed it off later. That's crazy. I don't know exactly where I'm at right now. This is like another middle point with some smaller cell blocks. This is crazy. Like, I didn't realize this until right now. Al Capone was very special. Here's his cell right here. I was looking for it in there, but why have an ordinary cell in here when you could have a luxurious cell? And this is where Al Capone served time. It's actually pretty nice. It says here he was very comfortable. What the hell is that? Barbershop. This is the barbershop. Oh, there's no glass there. That was very strange. Look, they have the water hookups there for if they wanted to do shampoos and stuff on people. So this is cell block 7, and I'm not gonna show you. You know, they all look the same, okay? See this? They all look alike, but I am pretty sure that I missed a lot here. Maybe you've been here before, like on a tour. What I really want you to do though is check out my friend CJ or my friend Mo Sargi's videos. I will leave links here in the description. I am dying right now. I am so freaking cold. I get to hop on a flight and go back to Florida a little bit where it's 70 degrees. Hope I don't get sick from all this like weather change, but I'm gonna go ahead and start letting you guys go. I haven't found my friend Mo Sargi or my friend CJ just yet, but my battery's getting ready to die. Please let me know if you've seen or heard anything weird in the background. A lot of you have been requesting for us to come here and make a video, and there you have it. We got a really good invite, but hey, I would love to come back here, maybe shoot them an email, Eastern State Penitentiary, and tell them you want Omar, CJ, and Mo Sargi to come back here at nighttime. I'm pretty sure it's very, very spooky at nighttime, and I would love to have this privilege again of coming when there's nobody here, because then you don't have talking, you get the whole place kind of to yourself, and you, the viewer, get to feel like you're on this adventure as well. I think if there's a ton of people here making noises, it kind of distracts you from that, if you will. I know my friend Mo and CJ made completely different videos here. I don't want to show you everything here. I mean, plus it's ginormous. I mean, all the cells kind of look the same. You can see we got some pillows here. This does look a little bit different in here. Being that we didn't really get to explore together, I'm pretty sure their videos are going to be completely different, so I encourage you to check them out. I will leave links here in the description. I gotta go, but before you leave, give me a kiss. Peace.